Okay, so this is our visitor book, which we introduced into the clock tower about 15 years ago. Interesting people that have been up. Bill Gates has been. Here we have at the very top of the page, we have Prince William. Here's Michelle Obama, the White House and her two daughters. I escorted the team that went up with her, because as you can imagine, it wasn't just Michelle Obama and her two daughters. There was quite a lot of other staff from the White House that also went up to enjoy the tour. She was thrilled to be able to hear Big Ben actually chime the hour. The stairs, she had no problem on the stairs whatsoever. She bounded up the stairs ever so quickly, as did her daughters. They were absolutely charming.
Before scaffolding starts, Alan Hughes of Whitechapel Foundry, where Big Ben was cast, has been called to the tower to check a crack on the bell.
So this is just explain to me about this, Alan. So that's the crack there, is it?
That is the crack.
Yeah.
There's also another one over there.
Yes.
The crack is almost as old as the bell. It happened 2 months after Big Ben was first struck in 1859.
So am I right in understanding that the crack was caused by the original hammer?
Yes. When we made this bell,
I love
we
it
said
it's
that
wee,
the hammer.
It's so brilliant.
Hmm?
It's wonderful that it's wee, you know.
Well, it is wee.
You know, it's
I mean,
your
it's the
wonderful
Whitechapel
foundry.
wee.
Yeah.
We recommended that the hammer weigh no more than 1/4 of a ton.
Yeah.
And fall no more than 4 inches onto the bell. The advice was ignored, and the hammer that was placed was 1/2 a ton.
Crikey,
and
so
it fell 6 inches onto the bell.
So twice the size of what you
Twice the
recommended.
weight, and also falling
Weight.
through a greater distance.
Yeah.
It was recorded and measured in 1859.
Yeah.
And the size of the hammer was reduced to the size that we recommended in the first place.
And that's been fine.
And that has been hitting the bell ever since.
So you should have followed the advice in the first place.
Well, yes, I mean...
I told
yes.
you so. That's what you mean.
So,
In 1863, engineers were forced to cut a hole in the bell to check how badly it was damaged.
Because on the face of it, as a non-bell expert, it looks like this is much, you know, a bigger intervention in the bell than that little tiny crack there.
that's the only way they had of establishing the depth. I mean, today we have ultrasonic testing devices, and it would have been a straightforward job.
Yeah.
This is the only way they could find out the depth of the crack.
And how far through the depth of the bell is that? So that's my
well,
hand going in there.
I mean, that's somewhere in the region of 2 to 3 inches. But
Yeah.
at this point, the bell is...
How deep is the
bell?
bell?
9 inches thick.
Okay,
It's
so
exactly
actually
9
it's
inches.
only...
So it's about
even
a
though
third of the way through.
Yeah, wow, it shows you how thick the bell is.
The only thing I think left to do now is just to pop inside the bell and just make sure that where we have these cracks on the outside, there is no evidence inside.
This is technique here, let's see.
Alan assures me there's enough time to check inside the bell before it rings again.
You easily have to sort of crawl in, don't you? Whoa, it's like being in a massive sculpture.
So on the inside of the bell, you have this sort of crust.
It's that greeny crust, what's
The
that?
greeniness, that's mainly copper carbonate. These chalk marks,
Yeah.
that is the chalk that I put on 20
Really? That's your doing?
That's my chalk from 20 years ago.
So it's over here somewhere that the hammer strikes it.
Yes, the hammer is somewhere in this area on the outside. And there's no evidence of any distress or anything there. So.
After a full inspection, Alan gives Big Ben the all clear.
The inside, no sign of any cracking, no sign of cracking anywhere else. In other words, absolutely no change. In fact, nothing has changed since 1859.